Scene 2, time, September 1945, place a few miles outside of Warsaw. Setting, an office in an internment camp for Germans waiting to be deported to Germany. The camp houses mostly women and young children and a few injured German POWs. The office is crowded with women and children. They are complaining to a male guard.
My baby is sick!
I need to see the commandant at once. It's about my husband.
My little boy is starving. If he doesn't get food soon, he will die. Please don't let him die.
Shut your faces, all of you. You're lucky to be alive.
But my baby is sick. Please do something. Look at him.
She shows the guard an almost lifeless baby wrapped in a blanket.
Well, that's just too bad. If you keep making a ruckus, you will all be thrown out of here.
Why are we being treated like this? I did nothing wrong, and now we're being cast out of our own country. I lost everything. We were rounded up like criminals.
You lost everything, you say? Not for how I look at things. You have your children, your families, and a place to go. It is I who have nothing. It was I who lost everything, not you. First, my father's business was Aryanized, meaning it was stolen from us. Then, my entire family, my mother, my father, my little brother and sister, were deported to Auschwitz, where they were callously murdered by you German butchers. Now you're squealing like the little pigs you are.
But we had nothing to do with that, sir. Nothing! It isn't fair to blame us for your misfortune.
You are to blame. All you Germans are to blame. You were acting so high and mighty when your Führer was alive. You treated us like scum, humiliated us, tortured us, made us grovel, herded us in ghettos like we were cattle. Then tried to kill us. And now you tell us you had nothing to do with it. You're all just a bunch of Nazi whores, and you're being treated exactly the way you all deserve.
Even the little ones? How cruel!
Cruel! Look how you use your children. You should be ashamed of yourself. Jewish children died too, all because of the likes of you. And now you're complaining. If it were up to me, you'd all be rotting in the streets, and I'd spit on you all.
You're a nasty, mean man. You're a beast. If my husband was here...
Well, he's not. But if you know where he is, please tell me, and I'll put him out of his misery. I learned how to do that from you Nazis. You were great teachers, but stupid fools nevertheless. Who asked you to invade Poland? Before the war, I was living with my family, going to school, minding my own business, and then you invaded. And my life's been hell ever since. Now I'm guarding you. So please give me a reason to shoot you, and I will.
Murderer!
Slut! Whore!
Shut up! You're just making things worse for all of us.
That's my tramp. Listen to your friend.
Have you have no compassion?
I lost my compassion years ago when you Germans barged in there and made my life a disaster. I was hiding in the woods, struggling to survive. And I have you to blame for that.
You were a partisan?
Yes, I was, but what of it?
Then you are a murderer. You partisans were just a bunch of thieves and killers.
You're wrong. We were patriots. You were the thieves and killers. You barbarians terrorized an entire continent.
Please, sir, whatever you say, I won't argue with you. You were right. Just let us speak with the commandant, please.
Well, he's not here.
Not here? We've been waiting here for hours, and now you tell us that he's not here?
That's right.
Is this some kind of cruel joke?
The women are becoming increasingly agitated. The guard grabs his rifle.
What are you going to do? Shoot defenseless women and children? Is that the best you can do?
Clam up, now! Put that ashtray down.
Pig! Brute!
Murderer!
Jew!
The tumult is getting louder and louder. Then a man enters the room. It's Jacob, wearing a military uniform and an officer's cap, upon which is affixed a red star.
What's going on here?
These women are creating a disturbance, Comrade Commissar.
That's not so, sir. We've been waiting here for hours to meet with the commandant, and this man has been taunting us.
Huh. Let me take care of them now, Commissar.
The guard picks up his rifle and points it directly at the women who are now hysterical. Woman 2 throws the ashtray wildly at the guard and almost hits Jacob instead.
Enough! Put the rifle down. Be quiet. I am the commandant of this camp, and now what's going on here?
My child is sick.
We need food! We're cold!
My husband, he's missing.
My son is missing!
I need to find my parents. We don't want to be deported.
I will listen to your complaints, but first you must calm down.
The women begin calming down.
I must protest, Commissar.
Be quiet and that's an order. Now, that's better. Now talk and make it fast so you don't have all day.
My baby needs a doctor now.
I'll see what I can do about that. Leave your name with the guard.
We haven't had any decent food in days. Just that slop, which I can't eat, and makes my children sick.
I'll look into this matter. Anything else?
My husband is missing. I must find him. I need to know if he's still alive.
Lots of people are missing, but if you leave me your husband's name, I'll see what I can do. Now, any other complaints? That being the case, I will thank you to now leave my office at once.
The women are putting on their coats and collecting their children. Another guard enters the office, dragging with him a disheveled young woman. The woman is Trudel.
I found this woman sneaking around the fence trying to escape.
Let go of me!
What's going on here?
I found her sneaking around the gate, Comrade Commissar. I think she was trying to escape.
It's not true. I wasn't trying to escape.
Then what were you doing near the gate?
It's you. Thank God. I know this man. He's a good person.
Release her.
Yes, sir.
The guard releases Trudeau.
Young lady, I don't know who you are, but this one time, I'll take your word for it that you weren't trying to escape.
Jacob, don't you remember me?
You are to address me as Herr Kommissar Commandant. Is that clear?
Yes, Herr Kommissar.
What are you still doing here? I told you all to leave now. Your concerns will be addressed. See to it that this office is cleared out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sluts, everyone leave.
Out!
The women are gathering up their children are leaving. Finally, the room is empty except for the guards.
You may leave now.
Yes, Comrade Commissar.
The guards salute and leave. Jacob and Trudel are alone.
What are you doing here?
I might ask you the same question. I thought you were dead.
Sometimes I wish I were. How long have you been in this camp?
4 days. The local police picked me up and brought me here for relocation. They claim that since I'm of German ancestry, I belong in Germany even though I'm Polish.
Yes, but you're Volksdeutsch Polish, which means you are subject to deportation.
It's really unfair. What am I going to do in Germany? How will I live?
How were you managing before?
After we met, I spoke with some of my friends about your case, but it didn't work out.
I figured that.
I thought I could help, but found out the people who I thought were friends weren't. Anyway, a few days later, the Gestapo summoned me to their district headquarters for questioning. They wanted to know why I was so interested in a particular Jew. I told them about your situation. They told me in no uncertain terms that I was forbidden to have anything more to do with you or any other Jews, and if they received any further reports about me, I would be thrown in prison or a concentration camp.
I know you were trying to help, but to tell you the truth, it just made matters worse. After you patched me up, the Jewish police stopped by and told me they knew about me and you, and warned me to stop seeing you. I told them to get lost. The next day, they were literally pounding the door, angrily demanding money from my father, they called it a tax, and threatening him with physical harm if he didn't pay. And my poor mother, may she rest in peace, was so distraught that she had a heart attack and died.
I'm sorry to hear that. What happened to your little sister?
I was getting to that. She was 15 years old at the time, and one day she was out late, begging for food, when she was attacked by a gang of men who beat her up badly. She didn't know who did it. They dumped her in front of the building where we lived. She was almost dead. My father almost killed himself right there. It was all so horrible, and there was nothing I could do, nobody to turn to. It became too much for me, so one day, while my father was covering for me at the compulsory work detail, I decided to run away, like a little boy.
Where could you run to?
I did not know. All I knew was that I had to get away fast. So, in the middle of the night, I managed to sneak past the guards at the gate of the ghetto, and once I was outside, I laid low for a while, and then made my way along the highway until finally I reached the forest area outside of Warsaw. By this time, I was in really bad shape. Anyway, to make a long story short, I managed to hook up with a Soviet partisan group, participated in scores of operations against the Germans and their stooges, joined the Red Army Political Commissariat, and here I am now, a commandant of this camp.
What became of your father and sister?
I don't know. After the war, I went back to Warsaw to find them, but the house where we were staying was gone, destroyed during the liquidation of the ghetto. Nothing but rubble. And nobody could tell me what happened to them. In fact, nobody even knew who they were. All the Jews were gone. I hope they're still alive, but I doubt it.
Don't give up hope.
It's hard not to. And if I do find them, I won't know what to say. What could I say?
Look, you did what you had to do, period.
I appreciate your kindness, but it's not that simple. Now, continue with the story.
After my interrogation by the Gestapo, I was transferred to another clinic inside Germany, where I worked as a nurse for the Wehrmacht. My mother was still in Poland, and I wrote her as often as I could. My father was missing. I got involved with a German soldier who was on convalescent leave, but it didn't work out. He was violent, especially when drunk. One night he came home drunk and beat me. After that, I moved out and lived in the clinic. Conditions there weren't good, but it was a lot better than living with that guy.
So, what brought you back here?
Like I told you, my mother was still in Poland, so after the war ended, I decided to go home. I had no place else to go. The problem was, I never made it back. I was picked up by the Polish police, who threw me in jail and accused me of being a war criminal, threatened to put me on trial and execute me if I didn't tell them the whereabouts of other Nazis. I told them what I knew, which was nothing. They didn't believe me at first and even beat me, but finally one of the interrogators, a female who was a little more decent than the others, took pity on me and freed me from jail. She even gave me some money. I was wandering around, completely disoriented, then got arrested again for vagrancy and got dumped here with all the other Germans who were being deported. Meanwhile, I have no idea what's happened to my parents. I was hoping to find my mother here, but so far, no luck.
That's rough. The war was a disaster. Look what it did to us.
It brought us together.
True, it did.
Trudel and Jacob look at each other and embrace.
Now what?
I have a job for you.
Here? In this dump?
Don't call it a dump. It's a detention center. And I'm doing my best to run things smoothly. I need someone to run the clinic. And I think you'd be perfect for the job.
Do you have medical supplies?
Not much. But I'll see what I could do to get some.
After the way the Nazis treated you, why would you want to help any Germans, including me?
I wanted to take revenge badly, but soon that feeling passed. I've seen too much of violence already. Anyway, I'm not a judge. I mean, I could go around beating up on Germans, denigrating them, humiliating them, and abusing my authority. But what would that accomplish? Maybe it would make me feel good for a little while. But it wouldn't restore what I lost. Besides, the war is over. Germany is kaput, the Führer is history, and Nazism has been crushed. All this now is just a cleanup operation. But don't get me wrong. If people defy my authority, I will act decisively, without hesitation, without mercy. So please, don't test me.
Jacob, I'm on your side. The people here need help, not hurt, and I'll do what I can to help you.
I hope you're being sincere because I am in no mood to play games. And if you're trifling with me, there will be trouble. Do you understand me?
Trudel grabs Jacob's hand.
Now, my commandant, what is it you want me to do?
Jacob kisses Trudel deeply and passionately as lights fade. End of scene 2.
Scene 3. Time, next day. Place, the camp dispensary. The room is packed with women and children. Standing at the door is a guard armed with a submachine gun with safety button off. In the corner, an injured soldier is laying in a bed. The sound of children crying and coughing resonates throughout the room. The women are yelling an ongoing litany of complaints at the guard.
I need milk for my baby.
I have a fever.
My legs are swollen.
My little girl just fainted.
My heart is failing.
I don't want to die.
Who will care? Who will care for my little babies?
My hair is a mess.
I'm covered with lice.
Somebody stole my shoes.
We're hungry.
We're cold.
We're thirsty.
What do you want from me? You're lucky we even let you live. In fact, you have some nerve demanding anything. Before the war, my father was a respected professor, but that didn't stop your kind from first humiliating him and then murdering him in the street. And then you made my mother clean the streets with the finest linen while everybody looked and laughed. What I could never understand is why you Germans would insist on first humiliating us before murdering us. Sure, it was just a misunderstanding, right? Just one big joke? Well, nobody's laughing now. You looted us, you stripped us of everything, and now you want food? What did you do with the loot that you stole? As far as I'm concerned, you can all starve. For all I care.
Are all the guards in this place nasty like you?
I'm nasty? If I am, I learned it from you. For 5 years, I was treated like dirt, had to grovel, bite my tongue, bide my time, and now it's my turn. You see, I'm a Jew and have absolutely no use for the likes of you. Your kiddies are sick. So what? I lost 3 children during the war. I watched them die from starvation in the ghetto. My wife killed herself. I watched my 2 brothers and sisters get beat up and then deported. And there was nothing I could do except hide like a coward.
You poor man.
Shut up, slut. I don't need your sympathy. You brought your problems on yourself. What happened to me was your fault. You are all guilty. You know, maybe it's about time I taught some of you crowds a lesson.
The guard grabs his submachine gun and loudly locks and loads the chamber. Everyone is now screaming hysterically.
He's going to murder us!
Save my children!
Please don't hurt my babies!
Jacob and Trudel enter the room.
What is the meaning of this?
The prisoners are rebelling, Comrade Commissar.
Put down your weapon now!
The guard hesitates.
I said put down the weapon now or I will personally shoot you.
Jacob reaches for his pistol. The guard slowly puts down his weapon.
Everyone be quiet!
The women begin slowly calming down.
That's right, everyone be quiet!
Except for the sound of babies crying, the room is soon quiet.
Now, what's going on here?
This man was about to murder us for nothing, taunting us, blaming us for things we didn't do.
Is this true what you said?
Come on, Commissar. They're just Germans. You can't believe them.
I'll speak to you later. In the meantime, I want to introduce you to the new Chief Medical Services. Her name is Trudel. and she will be in charge of this clinic.
You're putting a German in charge of this clinic? I'll have to take orders from her?
No, you will still report directly to me. But while Trudel is in charge of the clinic, you will afford her respect and help ensure that there is order so that she can do her job. Is that clear?
Yes, Comrade Commissar. I'll obey, but wish to file a protest.
File a protest? I am the final authority in this camp, so your protest is duly noted and denied. Insubordination will not be tolerated. Is that clear?
Yes, Comrade Commissar. Quite clear.
Good. That's settled. Trudel and I will now inspect the clinic. You will return to your post at the door. If I need you, I will summon you.
Yes, Comrade Commissar.
The guard returns to his post. Trudel and Jacob start walking down the main aisle, which separates 2 rows of beds. The beds are crammed with patients, mostly young children, many who are moaning from pain and hunger. Trudel and Jacob stop at each bed. As they proceed down the aisle, they are followed by a crowd of women who repeatedly call out,
What about my child?
"Who's gonna feed my baby?
My son is coughing up blood.
When will we get food?
My little girl is starving."
My children have a fever.
When they reach the end of the aisle, Trudel and Jacob go to the bed occupied by the soldier. He is missing his right leg. The man is Fritz.
No, Comrade Commissar. Remember me?
Who are you?
Don't play games with me, Mr. Commissar. You remember me.
Yes, I remember you now. You did not the pig who tried to kill me.
Right, Herr Commissar. The same guy. I guess I didn't do a very good job of it.
It was good enough. Now, how can I help you?
Don't patronize me, Jew. I don't care if you're Joseph Stalin himself. You're still a Jew. Still a fimp.
Jacob doesn't reply.
Can't got your tongue, Jew? What's the matter? Can't get the best of a fun-legged man? See this? Huh? He's nothing but a Jew with a fancy uniform. As if it's supposed to impress us. Well, it doesn't, not in the least. No matter how you dress up a Jew, he's still a Jew. I could smell him a mile away. These Jews are so oily, act so cocksure of themselves. But I know better, and he knows better too. Oh yes, he does. I'm more of a man with 1 leg than he is with 2. If you pull down your pants, then you can see what I'm talking about.
The guard, hearing the yelling, runs over to the bed.
Comrade Commissar, is this prisoner giving you trouble?
No, he's not. He's just talking.
Just talking? You're just a coward. You don't have the guts to deal with me. I got the better of you and you know it. Look at you. Sweating like the pig you are, you pretentious clown. You have the backbone of a jellyfish and the brain of a canary. The only reason you're alive is because I let you live. I really didn't want to kill you, but that's why I made the mistake, because now you're here and your presence disgusts me. Now you're prancing around with that Jew-loving slut. It's racial contamination.
Sir, let me shoot this Nazi and put him out of his misery.
Your God has more guts in his little pinky than you do in your whole body. You're a disgrace to your uniform. See how weak he is? Huh? He's a fraud, a fake. Don't believe anything he or his female baggage say. He's a Jew.
Maybe he's right.
The Commandant is really a Jew?
Can we trust this Jew with our children?
Don't Jews kill Christian children?
I just want food!
We need medicines.
My babies are starving.
I need milk!
I need warm clothing for my little ones.
Help us! Help us! Help us!
Scream all you want, ladies. The Jew won't help you. He hates us all. And he and his Jew-loving girlfriend, they're going to kill us.
The screaming and noise are getting louder and louder. The guard is yelling too.
This is open rebellion, Comrade Commissar. Please give me permission to shoot that Nazi dog.
Jacob does not reply. The level of noise builds up until it overwhelms all the other senses. Within the din can be heard complaints, pleas, insults, accusations, and slurs. Jacob covers his ears with his hands, trying to blot out the noise, but the noise level is too high. Jacob's face is turning blue. The veins in his neck are now plainly visible. He looks like he is going to collapse.
God help me, I will not murder that man! See to it that that man is not harmed. I am not a Nazi. And do not plan to start acting like one now.
Don't do me any favors, Jew.
I'm not doing this favor as a favor to you. I'm doing this to prove that I am better than you, that I will not lower myself to your level.
Save your sermonizing for your Jewish friends. You're just a weakling.
Shut up! Will you? He wants to help us!
That's right. I want to help you all. I want children to be happy. I want everyone to be happy. Be happy, be happy. Damn it, be happy!
Jacob begins to weep uncontrollably. Trudel grabs Jacob by the arm and then turns to the crowd.
Make room for the commandant.
Trudel leads Jacob through the crowd which parts to make a path for them. They go outside and stand underneath a large tree. Jacob is still weeping.
I really blew it big time. I'm such a weakling. Maybe Fritz is right. How can I ever face them again?
No, Jacob. You're not a weakling. Not to shoot that Nazi took incredible strength and courage. You were brilliant, humane, and strong. The people inside there saw it. They will listen to you now because they know you're strong. I want to tell you something.
What?
I love you.
And I love you too. You said my life twice.
Jacob faces east and chants.
Itkadal, Vedkadash, Shmirabor. Viem limor, Divru Kirte. Viem lik, Malkote. Vihayim kom, Ivyu mikom, Yuhaye. Diko Beis Israel, Beich Galo, Ubizman Koryev, Vimru, Omein.
That was beautiful. What is it?
It's a Jewish prayer for the dead. I haven't recited it since I was a boy. It's about time I honor those who have died.
One day you'll teach me that prayer?
I will, and sooner than you think.
Trudel and Jacob embrace and kiss. Jacob has regained his composure.
I did say that I want everyone to be happy, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Well, what are we doing standing here? Let's get to work.
Trudel and Jacob laugh, hug, and start walking back to the clinic, holding each other tightly as the lights go out. This concludes the play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to recite a poem.
People, people, going hither and yon, pushing and shoving with much aplomb.
People screaming and crying too, when feeling sad and feeling blue.
People complaining really quite mad. They want what's theirs to make them feel glad.
People seeking the meaning of life, their place in the world that's full of strife.
People plain but not so nice, for some the future is a chunk of ice.
Yet people still laugh and try to cope. Their future's uncertain, but they still have hope.
The end.
Let's, everybody, let's have another round of applause for this wonderful, wonderful cast.